Hey, friends, and welcome back to our conversation about heredity. Before I move on, big thanks to Love Learning because she totally put this awesome PowerPoint together for me to use to show you guys to learn about heredity. So that's amazing. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. The last couple of days, we've been talking about heredity, and you've seen lesson one and lesson two. You've done some activities to help us better understand heredity. So today, we're just going to kind of quickly go over and review, and I'm going to cut my review part a little bit shorter today because this is kind of the introduction. Because today you're going to be watching a Bill Nye the Science Guy video all about genes and heredity and answering just a few couple questions afterwards, okay? So as usual, you're going to need a pen or any other writing utensil, pencil, crayon, whatever. You're going to need some blank paper, turn over a receipt, I don't care, to get that information on it, okay? So let's go over a quick review about heredity and what we already know. So we talked about what the word trait means, and by now everybody should know that a trait is a characteristic of a living thing. We should know that there are some traits or physical things on us that are inherited, okay? So physical characteristics that are passed from parents or other family members to the babies or offspring, those are inherited. That's what you get. You don't get to choose it, right? And in one of the next videos are on Thursday. I'm actually going to show you some videos and some pictures of my parents and my aunts and uncles, and you can see how I look like most of them, okay? The passing of traits is called heredity, okay? The passing of traits is called heredity. All right, we went over this on Monday, and you guys kind of went through each of these little inherited traits that you could possibly get. You could get an attached or detached earlobe, straight or curly hair, rolling your tongue, dimples, handedness, freckles, widow's peak, hitchhiker thumbs. And you said, let me see which one of these I have. You should have also compared those to your parents. Do your parents have them? Does an aunt or an uncle or a grandparent or someone you live with, does a brother or a sister have these same characteristics? You should compare these characteristics that you have to those people in your family that you're with right now. If not, you can compare them to people who are not your family, people who you may be living with, who you are not maybe directly related to. That's cool too. See whether or not they're able to do that and compare this chart with theirs. So we review that inherited behaviors, and what an inherited behavior is a way of living things act or respond to their environment. And so we know that there are certain things that are instincts, behaviors that we do naturally, okay? So a spider building a web, we talked about that, a bear and a bird building a nest. All of those are inherited behaviors. And for animals, we like to call them instincts. So again, inherited means that it's something that's passed down. It's something that you cannot help. There are physical things about you that you cannot help, like the shape of your eyes, how your teeth are set inside of your mouth, your earlobes, your handedness. Those are things that you cannot help. Those are inherited traits on your body. Then there are inherited behaviors that we talked about, or rather instincts for animals and reflexes for human beings. Then we moved on to acquired physical traits, okay? So an acquired physical trait is something that you pick that up over time, okay? It's not something that you were born with, it's something you pick up over time. To acquire means to obtain or to get. A physical characteristic that living things might get during their lifetime. Acquired traits are not passed down from parents, and we learned that this week. So me getting my teeth fixed or getting braces when I was in middle school, or rather my parents tricking me into it, but we're not going to go into that. That is an acquired trait. So my teeth are straight because my parents had put braces on. A leaf has these spots because the tree has a disease. That disease is not something that the tree is born with, right? It's something that it's acquired over time for various reasons. Bruises, scrapes, you even cutting your hair, all of those are things you pick up over your lifetime. Those are physical traits that have been picked up, not things you were born with. You weren't born with cut hair. You weren't born with blue hair, as we've talked about in previous. Those are acquired traits. Then we talk about acquired or rather learned behaviors. When you acquire a behavior, it's something that you've learned and gotten better at over time. So making a sandwich, making coffee, learning how to write, learning how to play the piano, learning how to ride a bike. All of those things are things that you have to learn how to do. Those are behaviors you have to learn. And in the animal kingdom, they also have behaviors that are learned. Birds learn how to feed their babies by watching others. A mother bear will show her cubs how to find berries for food. So you may be asking yourself at this point, how does all of this happen? How did we even get here? How do babies inherit their parents' traits? Why do robins egg cats and robins and not eagles? Why do deer have fawns and not rabbits? These are all great questions. That a lot of it has to do with your genes. And so what I want you to do is go back into your mind and remember all the conversations we had about cells and where DNA is found. I know somebody out there knows where DNA is found in the cell. Traits move from parents to their offsprings through genes. A gene, and I hope we can stop and take some notes on this, y'all. A gene is a tiny part of a cell that contains traits. Genes contain instructions that control the growth, the size, the shape, or appearance of plants and animals, and yes, us as humans. Birds have genes that control their size, shape, and color. Hawk's genes, you have a hooked beak, sharp claws to tear apart mice and other small animals, and different types of feathers. Plants have genes to control their size, shape, and color of their leaves and the flowers on them. And do we not just talk about all this stuff when we're classifying from the last unit? Yes. Look at all these connections, y'all. How genes work. Genes are found in our body's chromosomes. We each have 46 chromosomes, 23 from your mom, 23 from your dad. How genes work. Chromosomes come in pairs. Fathers have an XY, mothers have an XX chromosome, all right? Females have XX chromosomes, men have XY chromosome, all right? So women and men have different chromosomes. One chromosome from mom combined with one chromosome from dad. When they combine, then the baby gets the pair of chromosomes. So it is up to nature whether or not you get an XX or you get an XY. The baby may inherit the mother's dimples and the father's curly hair. You just don't know. That's why sometimes, and let's go back to this slide just for a second. That's why sometimes you end up looking like an aunt, or you end up looking a lot like a grandparent or a distant relative, because genes are very random in nature, which makes it fun. So I want you to stop and think about it. Can you inherit traits from your aunt and uncle? Yes. How about from your brother or sister? No, you cannot. So today, for the end of your lesson, for your activity, you're going to be watching this Bill Nye the Science Guy video, okay? And I have a little thing that I'm going to be putting up that's going to have all of the questions on it that you're going to need to answer. Again, you can find those questions will be posted on the Padlet, so you don't have to worry about that. I'm also going to try to post it in a couple other places so you can look at it. So you're going to watch the video, you're going to fill out the questions that I'm going to ask you, and then post in the Padlet. Again, if you don't want to rewrite it on Padlet, I totally understand that. Don't do it, okay? Take a picture of it, post it on the Padlet, let me know you did it, and we're good to go. If you can't take a picture of it, write your questions down. They're just quick fill in the blank questions. Write your questions down and then post those on to Padlet, the answers to the questions, and you're good to go. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow at our live lesson at 11 o'clock. I would like for you to come to the lesson with a picture of a family member. If you don't have a picture of the family member, bring a picture of someone who you think you look most like, or someone who you really like, or bring a picture of a family from the internet. Either way, I don't care. Bring a picture though, okay? Have a great day. Hope to see you guys tomorrow at our live lesson. Bye.